everyone, Speedy Diver here, and this is a way different video I've ever made before, hence, I'm a panda.
Panda, 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 panda.
Yes, I'm a panda. As you can tell by the white fur and the panda face. Who doesn't love pandas? You know, they're just awesome. Now this video is mainly going to be about how GameStop is closing 180 to 200 stores. Yes, no joke, that is what's going to be happening within the next half a year roughly, all the way up until like February-ish. So this is going on all the way up until 2020. Now, a couple things I want to say. Yeah, maybe even 3, maybe 5, maybe 10, I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to say before this video starts. First of all, audio is going to be horrendous. That's because I don't have a mic for my shirt. I don't have one yet. I should have one, but I don't. The audio is just coming from the camera mic, and yeah, you're kind of far away, and there's no ventilation, there's no holes in this mask besides the nostrils. So I guess I could technically pick my nose. Yeah. The second thing I want to say is to make a video of this stature is a little difficult for me, mainly because I've never done a face reveal. I mean, I am a panda, of course. I've always been a panda. Since the day I've made YouTube videos, I've always just been a panda.
Panda, 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 panda.
But I've never done a face reveal till now. Trust me, there will be a face reveal yet to come. Not quite yet, but yet it will come, eventually. In due time. In due time. So the reason I'm mainly making this video is for a lot of you who commented on my other videos. You guys have been saying, hey Speedy, for the past like week or 2 weeks even maybe. You guys have been like, hey Speedy, what's going on? GameStop's closing a bunch of stores. How are you going to still make videos? Now, they're only closing 200 stores roughly. That's not a lot compared to how many they actually have. They have over like 5,000 stores. And 200 isn't a huge amount. It is a lot, don't get me wrong. But I'm pretty sure the GameStops I dumpster dive at, they have so many people going into them, in and out of them each day, that they're going to be staying in business for quite some time. Also, some of you may be wondering, why did I pick a panda mask? Out of all the masks in the world, why a panda? First of all, they're awesome. Who doesn't like a good panda? Second of all, it's adorable. Who doesn't think pandas are adorable? And number 3, I could. Yes, plain and simple, I could be a panda if I wanted to be a panda, and that's what I chose to be.
Panda, 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 panda.
So, I'm a panda for today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a year. A lot to think about when you're a panda. I'm touching my eyeball. Ow, that really hurts. Ow. Ow, my other eye. Oh. Yeah, it's a little interesting, I'll give it that. So in this video, I want to do a little bit of research about this subject, as well as basically do it with you guys watching, so we can kind of learn and see what's going on with the whole GameStop closing stores. Their stock is actually going down in price, which is not a good sign. It's obviously why they're closing stores, things like that. And every time I read something off the computer, which my computer is right over this ways, every time I read off of it and kind of see something that I could talk about, I'm going to elaborate a little bit and tell you guys my personal opinion of what I think is going on and basically where my channel is going at the moment. Now you may be thinking, hey Speedy, you sound really weird. I do, because the mask, it's echoing really bad in here. Basically, where the mouth is, that's where my mouth is. Mouth, my eyes are over this a ways. Yeah, there's no hole, I can't breathe. It is, it's very hard to do this right now, but bear with me, please. Now, I kind of want you guys to give me a little bit of insight from your perspective. What do you think, yes, you watching, what do you think I should do if GameStop eventually just isn't here no more, and there's no more GameStop to dumpster dive? Do you guys think I should stick with dumpster diving, just different stores, or do you think I should maybe change my channel up a little bit and maybe do vlogging? Maybe I could do adventuring with Speedy. I could go just to different places in the world, adventure places. Well, maybe not the world, maybe the world, who knows? But just places around, maybe go hiking, maybe do something, maybe a talk show, different things like that. Or just, I don't know, gaming? Just let me know what you guys would love to see from me if it wasn't dumpster diving. Now, like I said, I could still do dumpster diving 100%. There's always going to be dumpsters in the world. There's always dumpsters to jump in, find cool stuff. But I think I've been doing that for quite some time. I may want to change it up for a little bit. Maybe I don't. I'm not too sure at the moment. I don't know. I don't know. It looks so weird. Oh, I love being a panda. It is just the best life ever. Now we're going onto the computer and seeing what everything is basically going on with GameStop and what I think about the situation. Now right here it says between 180 and 200 underperforming GameStop stores are set to shutter before the end of the fiscal year, and more could be on the way. So basically 2020, we're going to be seeing a lot of GameStops closing. Now, like I said, 200 GameStops isn't a lot compared to how many they actually have. Right here, it says 5,700 GameStops. That's how many there are global. So in the world, 5,700. That's a lot of GameStops. So say they take 200 GameStops away, that's only 5,500 GameStops. That's a lot of GameStops they would still have, and most likely the ones I dumpster dive at will still be here. Maybe not, maybe they will be, but the ones I do dumpster dive at actually have a ton of people that go in and out of them each day, so I'm pretty sure there are definitely a couple of them that would last at least until hopefully the end of GameStop, if that does come to be. Now, in this article, it does say that there's going to be, a much larger tranche of closures over the coming 12 to 24 months. I did this. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go like this. 24 months. So a year to 2 years, they are expecting more and more GameStops to start closing. Now, that's probably going to happen. Now, the reason I think this article says that GameStops are closing is because games are becoming digital, which makes sense, obviously. More people buy games online than they do actually in stores nowadays. Now, that's supposedly how GameStop puts it. GameStop blames games that are being sold online, making GameStop go under. That's partially what it is. Now, I used to go to GameStop when I was about 15 years old. Now, back then, GameStops, when you walked in them, you would just be greeted by walls of games. It literally straight up used to be just games everywhere, because that's what GameStop is for. Games. Nowadays, if you go into a GameStop, there's less games than there are merchandise. There's more like figures, there's clothing, there's just random miscellaneous things that I would never go to a GameStop to buy. You're going to GameStop to buy a game, not like just some random t-shirt that has something on it that you may like. That's something that you may pick up if you're there after buying a game, but you're going to GameStop to buy a game, not going there to buy merchandise or stuff like that. Maybe some of you do. All the power to you. But me personally, and mostly probably everyone else out there, you go to GameStop to buy games. Physical copies of games. Not downloadable codes, because you can do that online. They actually sell downloadable codes in GameStops, which makes no sense whatsoever, which I don't know why they do that, but they do. But you go there to buy a physical copy. Me personally, growing up with physical copy games that you can hold in your hand and say you own it, those are the games I love, and those are the games I go to buy. Now, GameStop, I actually go to GameStop to buy pre-orders of games and stuff like that, for games that I want to unbox on the channel, things like that, because GameStop has very good incentives to buy at their store. They have a lot of GameStop exclusives, a lot of pre-order bonuses, things you can get at GameStop and only GameStop and nowhere else. So I don't totally dislike GameStop to buy games. Buying games at GameStops are basically good. Trade-ins, trading a game into GameStop, not really, but buying games, you can get really good things from buying a game. Like, say you went to go buy a game at Walmart or Target, they really don't have pre-order bonuses. Not as much as GameStop exclusives. GameStop has exclusive items strictly to their stores, and that's really, really cool. As of the past couple of years, GameStop hasn't been having great incentives to buy games, though. Their pre-order bonuses, things like that, haven't really been all that cracked up that they used to be. They used to be really good incentives. Like, you would go there and you get a really cool poster. Nowadays, you go there, you might get a poster, it might be one-sided, it might not look that cool. I've actually went to a GameStop once to pre-order a game, and I literally pre-ordered the game, and I was promised to get a poster. I didn't get that poster. Now, what is up with that? I think it's for some Call of Duty. I can't even remember, to be honest. I was really pissed, too. I went there to pre-order a Call of Duty. I think it was maybe Black Ops 4. I'm not too sure. I kind of forget. But I went to go pre-order it. I pre-ordered it. They promised me a poster. I didn't get the poster because they told me I had to pre-order some other game as well. 2 games. They told me I had to pre-order 2 games to get one stinking pre-order bonus poster. And I was like, you have to be kidding me. Let me see your manager. Like, what is going on here? This doesn't make any sense. And they were like, hey, it's policy, things like that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel the pre-order. I was like, I don't want to do it no more. So then, you know what they actually told me? With this story is going to blow you guys away. This was right after I paid and everything, like the whole deposit and all that. They're like, hey, sorry, once you make a pre-order, you have to keep it. We won't refund you your deposit. And I was like, are you serious right now? Like literally, I'm talking to this guy. I seriously wanted to just freak out. Like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to freak out in that situation? I was like, there was cameras in the store. I'm like, dude, there's cameras. Like, you're gonna get in trouble. You can't lie to me like this. So then I was like, dude, let me see the manager. I need to see the manager. Manager wasn't there. Of course. Hey, that's amazing. I was like, get your manager on the phone. He's like, sorry, can't do that. Manager won't pick up. I was like, hey, get me your district manager. And he was like, they can't do that. I'm like, dude, I'm calling the cops. I need to get somebody here to do this because you're basically stealing my money. You're not allowed to keep somebody's money if you go to return something with a receipt in hand. That's illegal. You can't do that. So then the guy was like, okay, you got the district manager on the phone. Talk to the district manager. I took the phone out of the guy's hand and I was like, dude, I'm talking to the district manager. Ring, ring, Progresso. Yeah, I want my money back. Got my money back. And that's basically how that story went down. So I got my money back. I actually ended up pre-ordering the game from, I think, a different GameStop. A totally different one. And the other GameStop was totally cool about it. They gave me 4 posters or something. And I was like, this is awesome. Really super cool. But that one GameStop was like, sorry, blah, 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 blah. All this bunch of crap, basically. And that's why I think GameStop gets a really bad reputation. GameStop corporate, they obviously have to do something else with their management. Because that is really unacceptable, and that's why I dumpster dive GameStop. I love dumpster diving GameStop because I don't have to deal with people. I can just go in a dumpster and maybe find games, consoles, things like that for free. Things that GameStop doesn't want and I can gladly take. So going back into the computer, right here it says shoppers still like to go into GameStop locations to buy gift cards, used games, and merchandise. Yes, that's true. I used to love going into GameStop. Not anymore. I used to love going into GameStop, buying games. I always used to buy used games. They used to have a nice big selection of used games you could buy for a decent price, for maybe $5, $10, $15. Now, I've actually recently went to a GameStop. They had the smallest, petite, very tiny used game section. And I'm like, where's all the used games? She's like, sorry dude, don't really carry used games that much anymore. We carry just mainly new ones. There was a little tiny shelf. And I'm like, what? What is this garbage? It doesn't make any sense. You're a gaming store. You're supposed to have games. It just didn't make any sense to me, and it still doesn't make sense. And that goes back into saying why I think GameStop isn't doing that good. They're not really focusing that much on gaming anymore, or games themselves. They're mainly more focusing on merchandise, like it says right here, it says merchandise. Also gift cards they've always kind of been into, which is fine with me. Gift cards are cool, but the merchandise I think is where it's making them go downhill. Just, you don't go to a game shop to buy merch. You can do that online. You can buy merchandise online. You would rather much go into a game store and see games on the shelves, more inviting, more enticing to go in and actually explore and see what games you can find that you've never heard of before. Things like that, what makes it so interesting and just, it makes you lively. I don't know, if you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. That's basically how it goes. And I don't know, it just kind of all went downhill from when I think of GameStop, I think of how it used to be when I was young. When I was 15, 16, 17, around there, maybe even 18, high schoolish kind of age. I always going in there and just seeing walls of games. That is the coolest experience. There's an endless possibilities there. There's so many games. There's a game for everybody out there, and that's what's so cool about it. But recently when I went into that GameStop and they had such a small selection of used games, also the brand new games wasn't even a big selection at all either. It was half, maybe a quarter of what I would have imagined. It was literally nothing. There was basically no games in this GameStop. And it's really confusing. I'm like, you guys, you're called GameStop. Why don't you just call yourself Merch Shop? It's just, don't call yourself GameStop anymore. You don't really sell games. It's just so mind-blowing. On the screen right here, on the computer, it says a 415.3 million, I can't even say it, it's so insane, $1 million loss. That was their quarterly statement, I believe, or something like that. That was their quarterly statement as of recently. That is mind-blowing. $415 million they've lost in revenue, lost in sales. That is insane. Also, it says they lost 40%. 40% of their stock right there in one day. One day it plummeted 40%. That's not good. That is really bad. Stock is what keeps a lot of businesses going. It keeps a lot of them thriving. Things like that. You kind of need a stock to keep you thriving, keep the money flowing, things like that. I don't want to get too into detail with stock and all that other stuff, but just absolutely, like, Panda mind-blowing, like, just insanity. Now, this kind of piqued my interest just a little bit. Right here, it says, closures will affect between 180 and 200 underperforming, yes, underperforming stores. Is that the right word to use? I mean, maybe, yes, those 200 stores are underperforming from the rest of the 5,600 or whatever, 700 other stores. That may be true, but I don't think it's necessarily that the stores are underperforming. It's more or less that the reason why they could be underperforming is I personally have not seen a GameStop advertisement in quite some time. Advertising's huge. You need to advertise if you have a company. I haven't seen a GameStop advertisement in like years. Like, if they want customers to come to the store, you have to have great incentives for people like, hey, 50% blowout sale, things like that. I haven't seen one of those in so long. Maybe they've had them. Maybe I've been living under a rock. I don't think so. But maybe I have. No, I've been living up in a tree, I think. Where do pandas sleep? Where do I sleep? I don't know. The moral of the story is that I don't think that they're sending off the right signals. They're just saying, hey, we're closing 200 underperforming stores. But they're not saying why they're underperforming. And they're not trying to fix the underperforming stores. That's the problem. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching. If you loved Speedy Panda, oh yeah, hashtag Speedy Panda, hashtag it in the comment section below. If you love the new and improved Speedy Panda, please let me know. Also, if you guys would like, I'll be leaving the last video that-a-ways. Also, my merchandise this-a-ways. If you want to help support the channel, check out the merchandise. If you guys would love some Speedy Panda merch, let me know in the comments section. I'd be really interested in knowing. Subscribe to the Speedy Gamer. I'm the Speedy Diver. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. It was very interesting, very hard and confusing to make. If you guys would like to see another one of these videos, make sure you leave a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.